Hi, it's Rosie from RoseByNameCo. Thank you for coming back today to check out my new journal. This one is called In the Garden, and I was inspired by, well, the fact that it's winter now and we're looking forward to spring once again and things that come a bloom in the garden. So this one is 8 inches tall and about 5.5 across. It has 80 pages front and back, and it's a single signature. It has some of this fluff on the top and a little bit on the bottom, and it has this beautiful wreath that my mom makes here. And it has a tassel in the colors of the cover, and also a little branch with leaves, and hopefully, one day again in spring we'll see some leaves as well. I did try a new closure on this that attached at the back and put some lace, and this is muslin over here, and then this large wooden button, a very pretty button, and then it just opens like this and then closes. So, and it seems to hold pretty good and gives you some space to put more things in it. So in the front I have a tag that comes out of this pocket. And of course, it's maybe me dreaming of spring again and all the greenery and flowers and so on. And inside, on the side, is a little pocket with a little journaling card for writing. It's got a bird on it. Of course, in the spring, we see lots of birds. And slips right in here. And then you open this pocket, and I did include a charm that has a little poem on it, the inspirational poem. Your past does not determine who you are. Your past prepares you for who you are to become. So maybe you can dream about that as well. You can leave it out like this also. And the back of this is beautiful. The whole flower here, the beige is golden and the green just put together so beautifully. And in the back also a very beautiful soft cover journal on this one. So going inside the journal, let's see what's happening inside. In the beginning, I do have quite a spread here to show you. First of all, I did include a linen piece, which I love. Any linen is a beautiful little square over here of crocheting. And just the feel of it, just the way linen feels, I just love. I could do this all day, just feel the linen. And so in the front, so that's yours to keep. It comes with the journal. And then in the pocket here, I have a authentic vintage card. You can write in the back, it's blank. So in the front here, it says Netley Abbey, Southampton. Now this beautiful garden here with these arches, something I would dream about, certainly, of having one day, but it may not happen in this lifetime, I don't know. But very beautiful, although it's black and white. Still very beautiful to look at. So that's going to be in the front here, like this. And then this here, it has this beautiful little trim, and you do pull on this, and this is a hinged pages. So we do have a few things to go over. These beautiful flowers here, and it's a pocket on top with a beautiful tag with a different different colors and so on, flowers and birds. And then a little bit of space down here for writing. And then I gave you some extra ephemera for you to put somewhere else in this peekaboo pocket here. And over here we do have a lady in the garden. One of the probably most things you might do in a garden, most popular things, is maybe read in the garden. So you can look at this and maybe write some memo on the back about reading in the garden. And over here a little bit of crochet little piece that I cut out, and just to put a little bit on here. And then at the back you have some birds, and they looks like they're collecting some straws and grasses to make a nest in the spring. and then a little bit of collage here, and a label, and something that I scanned here that I put in the background with a lace that I have. And over here, this beautiful meadow, and a little bit of extra space for writing. Just gave you some lines on top of this one. This is just a piece of paper. Now these are separate pockets with these beautiful flowers in the back. This is one pocket, and then this is another pocket here. And then over here, there's another tag, and it has some ladybugs on it, and a little bit of fabric, and over here as well. And in the back, of course, you can write on it. And everything is coffee dyed or eco dyed that I use on pages and on the tags at the back of it. There's a little bit more detailing over here. And so as you turn the page, we come across what I printed from the New York Public Library, but I aged it up, and it just looks like maybe some landscaping, or maybe a plan for the garden that you might have, and that you might use for the spring. Over here, a little bit of painting I did, and some words, botanical words that I printed out, and with a little label on top. And over here, a little bit of collaging and stamping. And I have a vintage book, of course, with plants and how to prune and instructions for the garden. And then I put a little bit of the brown tape that I have, and a little bit more. Over here on this page is beautiful crocheting over here, and then another little one that my mom made that I attached here on this beautiful vintage image. I get everything that is public domain, and these beautiful ladies in the garden enjoying themselves picking flowers. And I did find on this one, I did a little bit of collaging on the bottom here, and then a little bit stamping as well. And on this side you have birds. Now I did find this beautiful card. It is blank inside. Perhaps you can use it or just write in it for journal, and it becomes beautiful as it is, and so on. Just more inspirations that included the word garden, so I was looking for things like that. And then a little bit of ledger collaging, and another image in the garden. This one has a little charm on here. A tree, of course, grows in the garden. And this is a little tuck spot, so you can, it does hold a little bit tag or something here. And then a label that I made, and a little bit of small paper, a little bit more flowers. And of course, something you find in the garden, probably, yeah, maybe a frog or two sometimes. I just made it into a tea card. I printed it, and a little bit stamping here, some lines for you. And then over here, a leaf charm, and then collaging and sewing, lots of sewing all over the journal. And another label here, and one of my stickers that I put on. And I put one of these little tea cuts. Of course, you might see a rabbit in the garden. And so anything that you might see in the garden, flowers, birds, of course, always. And then this lady is having tea in the garden. Of course, that's something that you would do probably also quite a lot, or when you get the chance. So on this side, this is a beautiful paper I have for menu and wines and so on. And this is a tally card for bridge, but a beautiful yellow rose, which you might find in the garden as well. Here's a tiny journaling card. And here's another lady on this paper bag here. And she's in the garden tending to her flowers. This is even more vintage. How does my lady's garden grow? With all the little heads over here. Hopefully you won't see any heads in the garden, but just flowers. And then her name is Rose. Just something to do with flowers. And then a vintage postcard. This one is written on, and it's from Victoria, BC. It is once upon a time when postage was 2 cents. Well, that was quite a long time ago. Now it says 4 cents too. Oh, so they should have used 2 stamps. But anyways, it is Sunken Garden. So it is about a garden in BC a long time ago on this vintage card. Authentic card, of course. I put a little bit of a butterfly here. Of course, butterflies in the garden. This one is a little bit of a label and just for writing. I do need to leave you some space for writing. And then here's a little tag. And then I use where I punched out a circle and then I put a little bit of flowers inside. Now this one is a pocket and we have a long tag in this one. I don't know, it looks like Lady Diana. I don't know if that was actually her or this is just happens to be. But anyways, just in this beautiful yellow dress. And so throughout the journal, there's quite a bit of yellow going on, like this beautiful flower here. And a little bit of label here and yellow piece of paper with a journaling card. And then maybe some memo or some veggies or fruits you want to plant or some kind of list you want to put on here. A little bit more butterfly from my DigiKit and a label. And detailing over here, collaging. And then this is just a photo that I cut out, maybe different stones that you might be planning to put in the garden. And then I always wonder what to do with these because I do like to collect them. These are the tags that you get with the flowers when you buy them in the spring. And well, perfectly, I did have 2 yellow ones to put on here. And it does hold a journaling card perfectly. So these ladies are walking through the garden and looking at all their hard work. Maybe they had somebody plant for them. I don't know. Here in the middle, this is the middle, and I did put in a piece here just to hold everything more securely because it is one signature and a lot of pages. So here they're on the veranda enjoying different tasks by their flower garden. And then this one is how to use a garden rake and a little bit of just writing space. And on the other side also, this lady's here in her beautiful rose garden. And I tried to put a little bit of the colors that go in the tag and a little bit more about cutting and another journaling card just for space. And then I stamped over here as well. And here is this beautiful wreath with a button in the middle. On the next page, I also used that tape again, and Sunny Ursula, it says here, Garden Mom. And this beautiful card where you might be having a picnic, you know, in the garden. Just watch out for the ants. I found this, I don't know, I had this somewhere in my stash, this green large safety pin. I don't know how it was painted, who painted it, where I got it from, but very pretty, so I thought I would put it in this here. And this is a tuck spot again, and a little bit of lines, a little bit yellow paper. This also is a tuck spot, and it has ornamental benches and a little bit of a roof on top so that you can sit down and keep out of the sun because it does get hot in the garden. Little bit of a round tag here or a label. And then over here, I put more of these. And then in the back, I put my own image of some flowers. And then a label here. And then, again, I used this see-through pocket and a long tag with a lady in yellow to go with the yellow, mostly yellow thing. Butterfly. So in this pocket, I also have a flower garden. It looks like maybe a magazine or a practical book. So it was a book cover, price $2, not bad. And then this is the rock gardens in Southampton also, so it must have been some kind of set. That's when you can write on the back, and it is authentic card with a rock garden that I found. I do like to collect postcards, so I have many boxes to go through and find exactly what I need. And here's a lady in her garden also overlooking the sea. That's always beautiful. And then a little tiny journaling card on the bottom here. This one did leave you a pocket or two empty for you to put in something. This paper just feels, it's so soft, very, very velvety. And then here I gave you a card actually with a envelope that I found, blank that you can use for something with these beautiful yellow sunflowers. And images of something from the garden, maybe some squash or pumpkin in the garden. Left you this one in the garden here. I found it somewhere in a book. It says vegetables, and I was going to put it in the front as the title, but I thought it was a little bit large, but I still wanted to use it. Collaging here. And then a little tuck spot here with this little tea card that I made of a deer. You might see deer. I'm hoping to see deer in my backyard because apparently other people have seen it. I have a bit of, just a bit of land in the back, and sometimes they do congregate there. But I have to be in the proper place at the proper time to see them. A little bit collaging here, and laces. So all through, there's laces attached to come out the side here. And of course, what would a garden be without a squirrel? I watch these little critters all the time, what they're up to, and they're always up to something. I love squirrels. And more flowers here, a little bit of paper, a little bit of stamping, and so on. So another little tuck spot over here. And a label and stamping on the side. And another journaling card up here with the garden, stamping, lines, and birds. I love the way these colors play off each other, just very muted, very soft. More lines for you to write on. And then I did use a couple of places the original postage stamp that was over here as well. I must have shown you. Let me see if I can still see it because I don't really, okay. This one here, also very beautiful with Canadian birds on here. And then over here, a U.S. stamp with water conservation. Of course, when you have a garden, you want to conserve water as much as you can. Let rain take care of the watering when you can. And then over here is a beautiful, looks like maybe a restaurant patio by the sea, and these beautiful gardens and trees on the side. So that's somewhere where I would like to have my brunch sometimes. And then over here we have a fabric pocket with this pretty little booklet. So here we have a little journaling tag, and then a journaling card, and some space to write in here, and then a little journaling card in the back as well. Very cute, and just fits so perfectly in here. A little bit more about, you know, how to do the cutting in the garden and growing of the trees and the sun. Of course, we love it when the sun is out. And just a little bit of that metallic paint that I have that I like to put on sometimes. And it's just muted colors and really isn't anything in particular. There is maybe a leaf that I imprinted here, and then the botanical words that I put in there. So here is another landscaping plan that you might want to use. Now, however, this is like if you have, I don't know, acres and acres of land to make this big garden, but maybe you're interested in something, just a detail of it. And it does say landscape gardening, and I printed that from the New York Public Library and aged it up. Goes in there, a little bit of stamping and a little bit more fabric here. So we're at the back now, and so this is the end of the journal. I do have a few things here to show you. First of all, well, the details, fringes that I try to make over here from the garden with the, you know, browns and the greens and then the yellows and so on. So here is a tag that I actually sewed onto the page, so it's really tuck spot, and you can put another tag or something else that you have. And then this beautiful collaging here. And then as you open it, more collaging and a little bit of writing space in here. You can also stuff something else into it. You don't have to use all of this ephemera. Then I did find, this is from a book, so it's an authentic little piece, The Ant and the Cricket. It also talks about the garden and so on. A little bit more writing space in here. Now, this is a pocket in here. And then as well, in the back, this is a pocket, so a little bit more writing space here. And this beautiful yellow background here with purple and different colors, flowers there. And then I did find this the sari that I have scarf with this perfectly same color purple as this, so I just put it in the back here. It's a tag, but we'll see it from the other side. So now when you open this, it does open like this. So that's this part, and then as you close it, you'll come around this way and then open it this way. So on this side, we have the see-through pocket where I gave you a couple more pieces. You know, bird, you might want to put it somewhere else. And then a little tag as well. And more tag here. And then a tag over here with, I like to do collaging with the different textures. It does have different strings, tea, paper, ribbons, cheesecloth, all kinds really, and a little label over here that would make it interesting too. So, you know, a lot of things are not just for looking at, but you can also feel it and get the idea of the texture. And then in the back here, I also used something, I scanned some leaves with some lace that I have and put it as a background. So perfect for in the garden. And then over here, you have a journaling card of a lady, looks like she's doing crocheting in the garden. And then this beautiful little trim on the side. And then in the back here, there is a pocket. And then I give you a little bit of a lace sampler. So a little bit different laces to use in your journal. And you can, you know, use snippets of it and put it elsewhere. So there's quite a few. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 5 of different laces that you can use and put it in wherever it is you want. Now at the very end, then over here in this pocket, I have my own photography and a RoseByNameCo card that I'll write a message to the buyer. And I do happen to have it in this beautiful yellow that I made it look like a little bit like a painting. So this is Journal in the Garden that I have in the shop now. It just closes very easily this way. And I hope you come by and check it out at the Etsy shop and see whatever else might be in there. I do appreciate you coming by to check again to see what's new on my channel as well. Maybe if you can subscribe would be an excellent idea for me, because I don't have very many subscribers. When somebody is celebrating 1,000, 5,000, well, I'm looking at my own channel, it's only maybe 49 people subscribing. So anyways, it's up to you. I appreciate you coming by. Have a great day. Again, it's Rosie from RoseByNameCo. Take care.